Yeah, this is
100%, 1,000% must win. This could be either something that maybe gets Oklahoma some momentum back, or it is the nail in the coffin for OU.
I mean, look, Steely, at 3-7 in conference play, looking at a slate the rest of the way that only features one more game after LSU against an unranked opponent. I mean, you got 5 straight matchups against top 25 opponents on the other side of this LSU tilt. Oklahoma has nothing more than an outside chance to make the tournament as we sit here today on Thursday, February the 13th. If they can't defend the home court against LSU on Saturday, it's over, Steely.
Oh, yeah.
Like this, if they don't win Saturday, they are officially eliminated from tournament
And
contention.
you know what? Just being honest, it's probably over already.
Oh, yeah.
But you're right. 100% LSU is a team. They did beat South Carolina at home. Obviously, the Sooners did. But they got themselves behind the 8 ball, losing home games. Games, particularly the A&M game, absolutely 100% should have been a win. When you have an 18-point lead with 17 minutes left, you got to close that deal. But I can see 100% why Sooner fans are very upset. I get it. All right, let's hear from Porter Moser after the game last night, talking about what happened and the Sooners' loss in Columbia.
For us in that first half when they broke away, it was a combination of missing a bunch of point blank layups and then not being able to knock down some shots, but also self-destructing. I thought we just this is what I mean by self-destructing. They're coming down in transition, and they're in bonus, and Caleb Grill's a 90% free throw shooter, and we just our center just reaches and hits them. Yeah. And 2 times in the press, we were talking about not letting the ball get behind us. They got behind us, they threw to Mitchell, and then we fouled them. That was 6 points. I just thought we had some self-destruction when it was like 7 or 8, and then all of a sudden it got to 15, and then all of a sudden you miss a layup or 2, and then it's 18. Yeah. And that it wasn't good basketball. We had 2 lane violations. We knew that Gray had a hitch in his free throw, and we still had lane violations. They came back, and that's 2 points. And I thought we self-destructed a bunch. We really wanted to take away the threes. It's the lowest 3-point total they had, but we couldn't guard them off the dribble. When we were taking away the threes, they were just driving us and getting to the foul line 35 times. Really, really tough when you're struggling that much offensively as well.
There you go, a familiar refrain, particularly for the last 3 games. It has been it's been brutal, absolutely brutal. The last 3 games for Oklahoma, and again, got to win this game Saturday against LSU. 100,000%. You have to get this game in the win column, and again, it's an uphill climb. It's basically trying to get to the summit of Everest almost now at that point for the Sooners in basketball, which stinks. All right, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. 405-651-3439. We'll take your text there. We've got an audio issue happening on YouTube. Engineers are working hard to fix it right now. And the YouTube chat is up and going, and we'll give you our poll question as well that you can vote on. And we're working on the audio. Hopefully we'll get it fixed. The poll question today is, as of now, do you regret OU joining the SEC? As of now, do you regret the Sooners joining the SEC? Very simple, yes or no. And you can vote on our poll question today as well. I was listening to T-Row this morning. I caught I was kind of half listening because I get up every morning about 4:30, so I catch their entire show. And I was writing down some stats and doing some other stuff upstairs in my streaming room, getting ready for that as well, and radio. And I heard the story from Toby about being texted again during the game while he's doing play-by-play. And I thought, you know what? It's time for an old man rant. Do we have the circling the drain opener ready to go?
Another example of society circling the drain.
The world will end next week. Spend your children's college fund. Thaw that turkey now.
Cry more.
Cole Porter.
Cook this guy! Bunch of losers.
You maniacs! You blew it up! Damn you!
All right, so last night, Toby's having to call a game where the Sooners aren't doing hardly anything, and Missouri's controlling the game. And Missouri is an okay team, and they're nothing special, but they spanked the Sooners 82-58. And in the midst of that, in the second half, I caught part of this story, and I said, I got to go back and listen to this, because this is the story, ladies and gentlemen, of another example of society run amok. Here is Toby telling the story while he was doing the game again last night as to what happened.
I had to yell at a couple of people last night.
Uh-oh.
I was in a fine mood, too. I still am in a good mood. I'm not in a bad mood. But other people, well, I'll give you the two examples. One is a friend of both of ours who texted me early second half. I'll read you the text. This is, 18 minutes to go in the game, okay? Second half has just started.
Okay.
Obviously, OU's down 20 at halftime, so they're down big. This is a friend of mine who texts me this, okay? No more fake positives in the broadcast. One more, and you've lost all credibility.
Huh. You say this is a friend of mine, too.
Yeah.
There are about 15 candidates, so I can narrow it down to probably 3 or 4.
Probably the first one that came to mind I yelled at a few weeks ago. I said, no idea what you're talking about, but don't text me criticism in the middle of the broadcast. I don't deserve that.
Right.
If you have my cell phone number, 1, don't text me in the middle of the game. But 2, certainly don't text me. He wasn't even being critical of the team. He was being critical of me.
You, yeah. Hey, nice job, Sunshine Pumper.
I don't even think I was saying anything.
There you go. So what do you think about that, Parker Thune? What do you think about that? Because that might be the more interesting discussion post-Oklahoma, Missouri than the actual game.
Yeah, the game sucked.
It did. Yes.
There's really not a whole lot to talk about with regard to that game specifically. All the conversations that we could have surrounding OU basketball are big picture right now. But really, who is that? I would love to know who that person is.
I don't know.
Why on earth are you texting Toby, you're losing all your credibility, while he's calling a game?
Here's the deal. It takes some real audacity to text a play-by-play man during the game. Now, if Chris Plank's on softball and he says, let us know where you're listening from, and you hit him up on Twitter and he gives those shout-outs, that's kind of cool. But particularly a fast-paced game like basketball, even though OU's bogged down offense, sometimes things slow down quite a bit because their offense is sometimes very difficult to watch, and it certainly was last night. But number one, you've got to have a lot of audacity to text a play-by-play man during a game. All right? Secondly, maybe at halftime, I don't know. Even then, I know this. If I was doing play-by-play, anybody texted me, I would tell them, don't ever do that again. I'm in the office right now, all right? If you're working, let's say you're working at, you're a big wig with Napa Auto Parts, all right? And you're closing a big deal with a client. And you have a buddy who knows that, and you've told your buddy, we're having a huge meeting. This is the biggest meeting we've ever had. We've got a huge client. We're trying to close. This is going to be awesome. And the buddy texts you during that meeting. They have, 1, no self-awareness. Number 2, there's something wrong with their medulla oblongata, or they're just a complete moron, or they're just a troll.
Well, and it takes a special kind of individual, too, like Toby said, to not just be texting about the game. Because, for instance, during football games, I'll have people texting me. I don't answer their texts because I'm actively working down on the sidelines. But I'll have people texting me just impressions or opinions during the game, which is fine. We're all watching OU football together, right?
You're shooting the game at that time, but you're not doing the play-by-play where you're trying to set up your color guy or you're looking at
exactly.
stats. But Toby's a lot more involved at that point. Not that you aren't, but the level, Toby's a 10 out of 10. You're about a 7 out of 10.
Well, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, I think if it was that particular individual just sending a text saying, boy, OU really laid an egg tonight. I don't think Toby's that miffed because, you look at that text, you put your phone down, you go on about your business, and you get back to that person later. But the fact that that person is texting Toby, basically, you suck, broadcast better, while OU is getting beaten by 20.
Yeah. Well,
and you're having to call the game.
Yeah.
As a play-by-play announcer, which that can't be fun.
No.
If you're Toby, you're in Columbia, Missouri, you're watching Oklahoma get its doors blown off by Dennis Gates and Mizzou. You're not having fun anyway.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you're getting texts from, I guess this individual is one that Toby would consider a friend, basically telling him that he sucks.
Frisco Sooner is saying it was Clark Stroud. Now, here's my deal. I don't care what you want to text during the game. Don't text if I'm doing play-by-play and you text me. I'm going to come back at you and say, dude, you realize I'm doing the game right now. I don't care what your opinion is. It takes a lot of audacity to do that. This is the more interesting discussion again than the game last night because the game stunk. But again, to me, look, if my mom was doing play-by-play, I wouldn't text her during the game at any point. They're in the office. Like I said, it's different when Plank says, where are you listening from or whatever. I get that. But the audacity to do that, whoever that person is, you realize there's something wrong with you, right? Do you realize that? Because there's something seriously wrong with you. No matter what the excuse is, well, I was just trolling. Well, still, nobody likes a troll. And the audacity that it takes, you've got to have, again, some pretty, first of all, it's a complete lack of self-awareness. Or the other thing is needing attention. What have we talked about in this era? Mm-hmm. Everybody wants their attention.
Which, by the way, everybody on the text line saying, just cancel the basketball program, send those funds elsewhere. You realize this is simple math, right? The basketball program is never getting canceled. The basketball program is never getting cut because basketball is profitable. You make money by sponsoring basketball at the institutional level. If you cancel basketball, that is a hit to your athletic department's bottom line.
Yeah.
If you make money off a sport, there is no reason whatsoever to cancel or cut the program.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to get to the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Apparently, we fixed the audio issue on YouTube. We apologize for that. Look, I do a stream every now and then the audio goes out. Doesn't happen to me that much, but it's happened before. It's very frustrating. All right, 405-651. It wasn't me, I promise, Mark. But, yeah, it's like, dude, I told Toby, I said, man, I'm glad you came back after that, dude. And I said, if that had happened to John Brooks, because Toby's a really nice guy, not that Brooksy isn't, but John Brooks, when the plane landed, would have hunted that person down and murdered them. I have no doubt about it, or at least caused major bodily harm, because there's no way that would have happened with John Brooks. He would have come back, like I said, and taking care of business the minute he landed.
Would he have done it himself, or would he have contracted goons to do it for him?
Brooksy, in his younger days, probably would have done it himself.
So no goons?
No, I'm not going to approach that word anymore, ever. All right, we're going to take a break. Thank you, guys. Thanks to Lasher Home Comfort Systems, 405-579-3113. It's just one of those things, again, I'm like, what's wrong with people? What's wrong with people? I've never
There's a lot of answers
one
to that
time,
question,
you know what?
Stu.
I know Toby. I'm going to text him during the game. That would be a great move. He'd love that. Some of you people don't realize it, but there's really something wrong with you. You might want to get that brain checked out. We'll take a break. Come right back. It is the home of Sooner fans here on the Ref.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is the Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Every year, over 4.5 million people are attacked by dogs. Almost half of these victims are children. A dog attack doesn't inflict only physical scars. The invisible ones are often even worse.
Dog attacks can cause devastating lifetime injuries. They can shatter our sense of safety.
At McIntyre Law, we understand the emotional toll of a dog attack. We're here to guide you on your path to recovery step by step. If a dog attack has affected your family, call us at 405-777-7000.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money, so say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, we will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
It's time for your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO5 First Alert Weather. Brought to you by Cavens Group. Do you have a water emergency? Give Cavens a call at 405-573-3048.
Still very cold out the door this morning, with wind chills being a big-time factor as we go throughout the day. Good news, sunny and dry, a northeast wind at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, but high temperatures today, the lower 30s at best, so still very cold, barely at or above freezing this afternoon. And then for your Friday, becoming mostly cloudy, breezy, with highs in the upper 40s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jonathan Condor with your KOCO weather forecast.
That was your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO5 First Alert Weather, brought to you by Cavens. Did you have a water emergency that you fear might turn into mold? Give Cavens Group a call at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com today.
What are you waiting for? If you're anything like me, that question keeps you up at night. So don't wait for someone else's green light. Do the things you love right now at Moore Norman Tech. We'll get you out of the classroom and into the real world with hands-on experience in whatever feeds your fire. So get after it. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. More Norman Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
The all-new Eskridge Honda is here, right in time for the new year. Our new building is awesome, just like these deals. Pay just $259 per month on new 2024 Accords. Come in today to get the best deals all month long. Now conveniently located off I-35 and 89th. Just look for the blue tents on the roof. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
2024 Accord LX $259 per month. 3-year, 10,000-mile lease. $399 plus TTNL and first month's payment due at signing. Ends 2/28/25.
Schumacher Law Group, when experience matters. Tracy Schumacher is a former prosecutor and former district judge. Whether it's a probate challenge, criminal charges, or contentious divorce proceedings, experience matters. The attorneys at Schumacher Law Group provide compassionate, knowledgeable advice, all while fighting for your best interests. Find Schumacher Law Group online at lawgroupok.com or call 405-701-1882. Hometown lawyers ready to fight for you when experience matters.
Get ready to unleash your inner fury at the Norman Sports Commission's Fun Run. Join us on Saturday, March 1st with a race right through Norman. You can pick your distance too, a half marathon, 5K, or a 1-mile fun run, each with an unforgettable run through the iconic OU football stadium. You can sign up for the Fury Run at thefuryrun.com. That's thefuryrun.com and be part of the action. All right, we're back. I wasn't planning to go on an old man rant today, but when I heard that story, I'm like, every day there's something. I want to text the guy doing play-by-play right now. He doesn't have anything going on. Some people, how did they exist in the world? I don't know. All right, we want to thank Lasher Home Comfort Systems, 405-579-3113. You guys, thanks for your patience on YouTube. The audio issue has been resolved by the wonderful engineering department here at the Ref. All right, do you want to hit the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line? I'm going to talk some Sooner football, mainly Sooner football next segment. But our poll question today is pretty simple. Do you regret the Sooners moving to the SEC, yes or no? been very painful so far. I still think it's the right move. Financially, it's clearly the right move.
Yeah, we're less than 8 months into this.
And it's not always going to be like this. But it's a very difficult situation right now.
On the text line, Mr. Sports from Noble writes, how do brain-dead morons get T-Row's number in the first place? Jay in Tulsa adds, I do not envy Toby at all. First, he's having to deal with endgame text critiques. Then he has to deal with Columbia, Missouri, and the meth vendors that go along with that place.
Yeah, I never imagined a world where it would be like in my days, back in my day where we actually had phones that were attached to cords. That's how old I am. Deciding, you know what? I know John Brooks is on the air right now, but I think I'll give him a call. Hey, John. Yeah, could have called that last option play a little bit better. And by the way, you're being way too positive, okay? Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. Ding, Like I said, John Brooks would have absolutely, that person would be erased from his life if that had happened. But Toby's a really nice guy. Said he even felt bad about it, but I'm like, I can't believe you deal with that stuff during a game. Ridiculous. Okay, I beat that horse. It's dead now. But it's just the audacity of that amazes me. 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. What do we have? And we're going to hit YouTube here in a second.
Chris Tate says, we need to call a spade a spade. I like Porter Moser. I actually think he's a good coach that is well respected. Unfortunately, this is a results-based business, and the shoe doesn't fit. Oklahoma should be a tournament team every year, make the Sweet 16 once every 4 to 5 years, and make a serious Final Four run once a decade. Am I missing something here?
No, I mean, look, there's no doubt. I mean, Porter knows the situation they're in. They've got a major uphill battle. And again, you've got to beat LSU, but right now the Sooners, these last 3 games, have been beaten down bad. So, we'll see what happens. The crowd at the LNC could be sparse. We'll see. Hopefully they can get back on track and maybe give themselves a chance. But, look, the bottom line is they're in big, big trouble. There's no doubt about that. And it stinks because I think most people like Porter Moser, but his job is clearly on the line right now.
And you could tell last night, just by the way he was carrying himself, he's kind of a broken man at this point. He has to be as frustrated as anyone.
Exasperated,
with how this season,
would that be the word?
Very exasperated. I mean, just for the first time that I can recall, Porter just looked kind of dejected and resigned last night. Which, I mean, the way that game went, I don't blame him because, again, it was never close. Oklahoma was never in that game.
Didn't feel that way, for sure. It did not feel that way. All right, what else do we have on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line?
Sad basketball fan Josh says, I'll never be changing my name at this rate. What do we expect Porter to do with the current state of NIL and hoops? How do you expect to make those kinds of runs when you're outmatched every single game?
See, there was one guy who's projected as a lottery pick on that floor, Jeremiah Fears. And he ended up with 8 points, 3 of 13, 0 of 4 from 3. And, if Fears is off, you can usually rely on Jalen Moore. And he had a tough night, some bad luck, too. Porter's talked about what a great leader he's been. He's been a good player for Oklahoma. He's overmatched inside, height and physicality-wise sometimes. But he also just had a really tough luck night, with some shots that he normally makes that he didn't make. 3 of 14, 0 of 3 from three-point range. So when you have Fears struggling and you don't have, Jalen Moore, Duke Miles was the guy last night with 18. It was just a rough night. Is Missouri a good team? Yeah.
Does that hurt? Those words taste bitter coming out of your mouth?
Yes, absolutely. But I don't look at that team and go, man, that's a team that can make a deep tournament run. Now, if they shoot threes really, really well and they get in the right bracket, maybe they can. But Oklahoma guarded the 3 really well last night. They couldn't stop Mark Mitchell inside from him, scoring and going to the free throw line.
Brian in Bixby says, this team is done. Their play is just plain bad basketball. This is why no one shows up to the LNC. Terrible basketball.
They're in a conference that maybe is having their best season ever. Carl Ravitch is amazed because, again, apparently, what did he say? The SEC, they're 82-82 against each other, so they're beating, it's like.
By the way.
Good Lord, man.
On a serious note, do you know?
I thought I was a dunce until I heard that. Holy cow.
You know what Porter Moser's record is in conference during his time at Oklahoma?
I do not.
15-32. 15-32.
That's not going to get it done. We know that. All right, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Let's check YouTube real quick. Jody says we have a huge step up in passion and fan support in conference, and what we've always had is no longer good enough. I think that is why Turnipseed walked.
Thad Turnipseed.
Like I said, he sounds like a children's book character.
That's not a name I expected to hear today on the text line. Thad Turnipseed.
Remember the days when I can still hear the soundbite from Thad Turnipseed saying that Brent Venables was the next Nick Saban.
He did say that, didn't he?
He did. Maybe he'll turn out to be, but, they got a ways to go before that happens. That's a pretty high bar to clear.
Reformed Homer on the text line says, if the alternator is out, no matter how good the new battery is, it will stop working. Fix the problem with the basketball program. It's not Porter.
Okay, so if it isn't Porter, and it doesn't look like it's going to be Porter, and I hate to say that. I hate to say that.
And yeah, I look, I like Porter. I want him to win here. It's just not happening. Like, it's fair to wonder, should he have just taken the DePaul job last year? Would that have been a more lucrative off-ramp for him than whatever off-ramp seems to be awaiting him at the end of this season? Unless Oklahoma manages a miraculous turnaround?
DePaul, see, I can remember great DePaul basketball, those Ray, Joey Meyer teams, particularly Ray Meyer, when they had Mark Aguirre, they had Terry Cummings, Skip Dillard, Dallas Comegys, all those great players. DePaul was a powerhouse, man. They were a powerhouse, not so much anymore, but maybe the right guy there. It just stinks. And, again, there's some season to be played out. But the reality is, at some point, they're the Walking Dead right now. And they're the Walking Done if they don't beat LSU on Saturday. So, got to get that done. All right, Les says, Kanik should have redshirted, given the chance to learn the position. He started at cheetah, then moved inside. He could still be a good linebacker. He was awesome running the ball on offense.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I guess
it's a very random text.
Maybe there was a conversation going on up top that I didn't see. But Jaren Kanik, going to be kind of an H-back role. Did he get a new number?
12, yes.
That's what I thought, yeah. I'll tell you one thing that Barry Switzer always did a great job of back in the day. If he had a great athlete who maybe wasn't so great at a particular position, or there was a player that was better than him that was also a great athlete, if he felt strongly enough about that guy helping the team just with his overall athleticism, he'd find a place for that guy. And maybe that's what can happen with Jaren Kanik. Because I still think he's a really good athlete. But, he's looked lost too many times at linebacker. Wasn't he involved on the 95-yard run by the Navy quarterback, too? Out of position?
Yes.
So,
although basically everybody was out of position on that play. That was a complete defensive breakdown by everyone involved. Big Rich in OKC says, this is the 4th year in a row there is a dead mouse in the pot pie. OU hoops.
It's interesting you say that. I had a nice pot pie last night without the mouse, by the way, but they take too long to make. It was an hour wait, but it was well worth it.
An hour wait? Who's your pot pie guy?
My pot pie guy was this guy right here. And I believe that you do them in the oven, not the microwave. They're better
no doubt.
Out of the oven. But it was worth the wait. So, anyway.
What kind of pot pie? Chicken?
It was chicken.
Okay, yeah. Did you make it yourself?
I did make it myself, yes.
Wow, look at you.
Shay was still working in the home office, so. Anyway.
Look at you. From scratch?
Yeah, but no. Hell no. This was a Marie Callender's, of course.
So when I asked if you made it yourself, the answer was no.
No, the answer was yes. I put it in the oven. For me, that's making it myself. Wait a minute. You actually thought for a minute that I would come up with the scratch ingredients and make my own chicken pot pie. Was that ever a real thought in your head?
I mean, hey, I thought maybe I was about to find out that old Steely's got some cooking chops.
I was wondering why you were so impressed with that. I'm like, yeah, well, I run-wrapped it, put a little foil around the edges, put it in the oven for an hour. It was great. Really? You made your own chicken pot pie.
But nope, it was Marie Callender.
In my world, that was me making my own chicken pot pie. Okay? So. All right. Moser didn't look well last night. Pale like he was about to pass out, says Johnny Boy. Did it look that bad? Oh, man.
A 417 listener, that is from the state of Missouri, by the way, says, with the current state of the basketball program, it can't all be coaching. Who do you think will come here if his first name doesn't begin with Kellen and end in Sampson? Who are you going to get? I mean, that's got to be your first call, right?
They could find somebody. They'll find somebody if they need to. But you know what you need to do if Porter's not coming back, all right? And right now I would say the money on Porter's not coming back. You need to find somebody that you really like that plays exciting Billy Tubbs-type basketball. Now, Kellen Sampson be a good hire, but, they're grinded out, toughness. It's always been the Sampson way. They're well coached, all of that. But also, you've got to get that arena hopping again. It's been a long time since Buddy Hield, Blake Griffin, Trey Young had some people showing up, obviously, because he was the number one story that year, really individually in college basketball. But get up and down the floor. I'm not saying 7 seconds or less like Loyola Marymount, but play an exciting brand of basketball, too. That would help.
A 405 listener says, Kellen isn't coming here. He's the head coach in waiting at Houston. Why would he leave?
Yeah, he could be.
Well, he would leave because he's an alumnus of the University of Oklahoma. And he loves the University of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And have you ever been to Houston?
A lot of traffic. Not a fan.
Norman, Oklahoma, in my humble mind, is far preferable to Houston, Texas.
Vastly superior to Houston in every single way.
And all of our Houston listeners will be after me within moments.
All right, we got to take a break. 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, let Steelman cook. Who put that out there? Okay. All right.
More like, let Steelman heat up a Marie Callender's.
I really thought, I was proud of myself. That was me making my own chicken pot pie, like I said, in my world. So, all right, break time. We'll head back. Let's talk a little Sooner football. What Teddy had to say about the quarterback room. We'll have that for you next right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The word is spreading, and the Ref Army is growing. Keep telling your friends and family that there's only one station for true Sooner fans, and that's the Ref Radio Sports Network, and worldwide on the KREF app. The Ref is the home of Sooner fans and is once again your home for chaos. Every game-changing hit.
Long fly ball to left. Track. Whoa. Gone.
Every strikeout.
Got him. Swinging.
Every defensive gem.
He caught it. He caught it.
Every game, all year, the Ref has you covered.
Catch opening weekend of Sooner baseball against the Lehigh Mountain Hawks Friday at 4, Saturday at 2, and Sunday morning at 11 a.m. right here on the Ref and the KREF app.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers. They're smart devices that can scan, print, fax, and email your documents with ease and security. Even better, they're backed by RK Black's award-winning service team that is built on nearly 70 years of taking great care of our clients. Whether you need a desktop printer or a multifunction copier, RK Black has the right product for you. Let's get the conversation started. Give us a call at 943-9800 or visit us at rkblack.com.
Dreaming of an escape? What about a relaxing escape to your very own backyard? Signature Custom Pools can turn your dreams into reality. Signature Custom Pools creates distinctive designs to fit your perfect getaway. Call Signature Custom Pools for your free design consultation at 405-898-9098 or visit them online at signaturecustompools.com and turn your backyard into your dream escape.
Hey, I just spoke to Megan Vance of Vance Auto Group in Guthrie. Megan asked me to let our listeners, that's you, know that every new Ram truck will be super discounted during the Ram Truck Month going on now. If you're thinking it's time to shop for a new truck, think new Ram truck and save. Go to Vance Auto Group and see Vance's huge selection of new Rams. You'll see the discounted price, retail price, and all discounts and rebates. You'll also see something called the Vance Lifetime Engine, Transmission, and other powertrain components guaranteed. Receiving this guarantee means your new Ram will be guaranteed for as long as you own it, no matter how many miles are on your truck. And it's absolutely free. That's right, free. Plan on driving your new truck for miles and miles? Then this is the guarantee that was made for you. It's Ram Truck Month at Vance Auto Group, going on now. Learn more at vanceautogroup.com. Shop us online or visit our Guthrie dealership on I-35, exit 153. See dealer for more details on powertrain guarantee with approved credit.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
All right, we are back here in the Buffalo Wild Wings dungeon. It's so dark in here, it's actually the Buffalo Wild Wings studios. But good to have you with us on this Thursday. Tomorrow at a great, fantastic place, the one and only Riverwind Casino will be right there in front of Chips and Ales Pub Restaurant. Riverwind featuring nearly 3,000 electronic games, the best selection in the metro area. They have all your favorite table games as well. 2 table game pits, 2 high-stakes areas. Have you seen the poker room? It is real. It is spectacular. It's awesome. They have off-track betting. They have an Oasis gaming area that's smoke-free on the first floor. Skyloft gaming area upstairs. They've got world-class bars and dining. How about the River Buffet? Friday night, steak night. Saturday night, seafood night. You've got a great brunch on Sunday. Big-time choices, and they're all really good there. Chips and Ales Pub Restaurant, where we hang out right in front of Chips and Ales doing our Friday shows, a quaint little pub restaurant with a great menu. And then you've got some great choices at the food court as well. Shows at the Showplace Theater also happening in February. Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners, Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen. Gladys Knights, all in February and March, 38 Special, Bonnie Raitt, Chicago. In April, the Band America, Boys to Men, and in May, Patti LaBelle. Many more to come, and we've got another round in the big Friday night drawings happening, the 80K Cupid's Quest drawings happening tomorrow night. Get out there and win your share of 80K in cash and bonus play. And there's a lot more cash and bonus play, $700 in chips, $30,000. Also in hot seat drawings, they've got a ton of promotions for February. You're going to love it. It is awesome. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards always at Riverwind. From Yoda on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, Steely, do you remember the old Missouri rivalry matchups? Yes. Norm Stewart against Billy was awesome. And yes, Billy Tubbs did call Norm Stewart once, Francis the Talking Mule. They love to get after, you're talking about trolling, they would troll each other, but they did like each other. But those teams, Missouri, old school unis last night, by the way. You know, you think about the old school Missouri players, John Sunvold, Steve Stepanovich, Doug Smith, Willie Smith, Jason Sutherland, Larry Drew, Anthony Peeler, Kim English, Damari Carroll, Linus Claza more recently, Phil Pressey, Paul Pressey's boy, Jordan Clarkson obviously was at Tulsa, ended up at Missouri. Michael Porter Jr., Missouri's had some players, but they've never been to a Final Four. Isn't that crazy? That's right, they did beat him in the Elite Eight. Was that the Aaron McGee team? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, and then they lost to friggin' Tom Coverdale in Indiana. They lost to a ginger.
That's embarrassing.
In the Final Four. They lost to a ginger. Now, if that ginger's Bill Walton or something, that would
But
UCLA,
only if
yes.
it's Bill Walton.
Yes.
If it's not Bill Walton.
Are there any other gingers that it's respectable to lose to in basketball besides Bill Walton?
No, none whatsoever.
Tom Coverdale. There's always that guy, right? Coverdale hasn't done this much all year. He's on fire. You know, it's like.
Didn't the Thunder have a ginger, like the OG Thunder?
Robert
Swift.
Robert Swift. Yes. He ended up in a bad way. By the way, how about the Thunder last night? You talk about don't call it a comeback, Tone Loke. It was more than a comeback. It was Miami making everything. In like a 6-minute span, that game flipped. Oklahoma City was down by as many as 21. They come back to win the game. They play at Minnesota tomorrow night, 7:30 on TNT, and it's the All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. Shea, J-Dub, and Cason Wallace all taking part in the All-Star festivities. So Shea loves her Thunder basketball, and what is going on? What's happening? You know, because it just didn't look like the Thunder, and then she was screaming, very happy with that incredible fourth quarter comeback. A 24-0 run for OKC. And the thing about that, Miami, I know they lost Jimmy Butler, but look, Andrew Wiggins has been a Thunder killer. Bam Adebayo had a great game. Lou Dort did a nice job for the most part on Tyler Hero, but they were making everything. Anytime the Thunder made a nice run, Miami made a big shot. But not late. The Thunder defense took over, and Oklahoma City got the dub. And the Heat culture is still pretty good with Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. Okay, what do we have, Parker? 405-651-3439. Les, by the way, did chime in on YouTube and said it is humid and sucks in Houston. That's how they describe the weather there, the weather people. Well, today's
forecast, humid and sucks.
Humid and sucky. That's it. Back to you guys on the desk.
Frisco Sooner says, at this point, OU needs Gene Hackman.
Yes.
Well, more accurately, they
Norman
need
Dale. Yeah, that's right.
More accurately, they need Jimmy Chitwood.
Run the picket fence, Porter. Run the damn picket fence against LSU over and over again.
Here's a good text from a 405 listener, and I think this is a very real fear. And also a very real possibility. Kellen Sampson, with our current resources, may not be any better than what we currently have.
You know, we talked about this the other day. What is the problem? Is it the LNC? Is it NIL? Is it Porter? Is it the SEC? It's a combination. And Porter got like 7% of the vote, right? The main thing was the NIL that people responded to on our poll. I don't think Porter is a bad basketball coach. You get Loyola Chicago to the Final Four.
Doesn't happen by accident. Doesn't happen by chance.
Really good Illinois team on the way, and he beat them pretty soundly. The guy can coach, but Hasn't worked out here so far. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I've never seen the Sooner fan base this depressed or this angry. It's going back to the John Blake days.
A 580 listener said, think you could make a run at Billy Donovan?
Doubtful. Very.
Do you like Billy Donovan?
I mean, I didn't dislike him, but
I don't like Billy Donovan.
Why is that?
I can't really put my finger on it. There's just something unlikable about Billy Donovan.
Back-to-back natties at Florida?
No, I thought those Florida teams were awesome, man.
But
Billy himself, there's just it's hard to even quantify. There's just kind of a sleazebag vibe.
Is it the widow's peak, the vampire hairdo?
It may be. Perhaps that's it.
Maybe
Perhaps he
he's
just has evil aura.
Coaching hoops by day and night, and Nosferatu on his time off. By the way, that Florida team, you had Al Horford, Joakim Noah, Corey Brewer. And clearly the best player that emerged from that trio, Al Horford, still getting it done in the NBA.
The text line is clowning you.
Okay.
Brian from Maryland says, Steely makes food the same way my 9-year-old makes her mac and cheese. Tim from Nebraska said, Steely made it from scratch. He scratched open the box.
That's exactly right. You guys, I love it. I love it. But really and truly, yeah, I was pretty proud of myself, man. You know why? I had patience to wait through the 60 minutes. I had patience to wait through the 60 minutes. I just watched the John Belushi documentary. Then I heard the ding, and there was chicken pot pie goodness awaiting me after a 5-minute cool down.
Reformed Homer asks, I've never thought about it. What all goes into a chicken pot pie? You have what? Gravy, carrots, peas, corn? Is there corn in your chicken pot pie?
I had peas and carrots and the gravy, and the crust was perfect. Crust is key. Can't have the mushy crust. You need it to be very crunchy crust. There's an art to that.
JD in Tulsa has a suggestion. Bucky McMillan at Samford is who you should look at if fast-paced style is important.
Yeah, and Jody was saying that on YouTube as well. Jody also said, Nate Oates is the most exciting basketball coach in college right now in terms of getting up and down the floor, but he's not leaving from Bama for OU. Yes, Jody, you're great, but yes. Most obvious statement of the day right there from Jody. We love you, Jody, but yes. I've got a great thing going here in Tuscaloosa. We've got one of the top 5 programs. Let's go to the Lloyd Noble Center where they average about 5,000 a game, and the fan base is incensed with the basketball program.
Here's KW in the 918 chiming in. I hope they fire Porter for his own sake at this point. The level of buy-in for hoops isn't there, and he deserves better as a coach. The athletic department has failed miserably with this transition to the SEC in the 2 major sports. I
mean, you can't really refute that unless you're the biggest sunshine pumper of all time. I do think football is going to be better next year. They have to be better. The offense has to be better. And by the way, we'll get to the Teddy talking about the quarterback room top of next hour. But, yeah, it's been, and then Sooner fans, because you get trolled on social media, which really shouldn't mean it, but so many people put importance on that. Oklahoma's not been SEC ready. That one goofball said that everything about Oklahoma is underwhelming. This is some yahoo. But Sooner fans are very proud of their athletic programs, particularly football. And if the football program is hurting, they're hurting big time. Now, again, a lot of unforeseen things happened last year, like Jackson Arnold, 5-star recruits, 1.5-star performance until later in the year. And the cataclysmic situation with the receiver injuries. There was some bad luck involved. I expect them to play better football this year.
A 405 listener says, I just want a basketball team that can score in a half-court offense when everything is slowed down and people aren't dribbling and running around kicking the ball off of their legs and throwing the ball into the stands.
That's usually not good for winning basketball.
No, it's not.
And how many times in some of these games you watch, they're throwing the ball around the perimeter. They're still throwing the ball around the perimeter. They're trying to find somebody inside.
And here's a contested three with no time on the shot clock.
And then the other teams, like they've got a guy posted up. There he is. Yeah, they get it to him on the box. There's a 5-foot jump hook. It's good. And Jalen Moore is their best inside presence, but he's still overmatched in some of these games. And I think he's a really good player. He's a leader on that team. He's turned himself maybe into a second-round NBA pick, or maybe a guy who goes to Europe and makes a lot of money in Europe playing. He's worked on his three-point shot. But if they would have gotten the kid from OSU, it might have been a lot different, right? Yeah, Garrison. That's right, Brandon Garrison. But no. Somebody said this morning, I was driving in, still listening to T-Row and TJ. What do you expect, basketball-wise? You can't get Gucci on a Dollar General budget. And I thought, that's pretty damn good right there. It's pretty good. Can you see if the NIL was like that? You just had basketball players like in a bubble, and they were showing you their dribbling skills and everything. Did the Sooners really go to Dollar General? I mean, some of these guys are Porter went out. They got some good three-point shooting, but the SEC happens to be maybe the best basketball conference, the best they've ever been as a basketball conference.
There are two absolute studs on that basketball roster in Jeremiah Fears and Jalen Moore. And to be fair, not even like Fears hasn't always played like a stud.
Mm-hmm.
He's certainly played like a freshman at times. But outside of those two, man, there are a lot of Dollar General players on that roster.
Between Fears and Jalen Moore last night, 6 of 27, 0 of 7 from 3 in that game in Columbia. Fears, by the way, why is Fears a lottery pick? Because it's based on potential, and he's still a diamond in the rough. The finished product's going to look pretty good. We'll be right back.
Sound off any time of day on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Right here on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network.
At Oklahoma Electric Cooperative, we value service, not profits. That's why we want to help you save on energy costs this winter. Here are a few tips. First, open curtains on your home's south-facing windows during the day and use the sun's heat for free. Second, seal leaky doors and windows using low-cost caulking or weather stripping. And third, be sure to keep the fireplace damper closed unless a fire is burning. Visit okcoop.org for more ways to save this winter.
Ready for some pickleball fun? Join us at the Y-Fac for pickleball every Tuesday from 8 to 11 a.m. and Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Grab your friends and hit the courts for a lively morning or evening game. If water fitness is your pleasure, Aquazuma classes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Go online at yfac.com to learn more about day passes and memberships.
I'm Gina Mitchell of Mitchell's Jewelry. Valentine's Day is all about love, and we have gifts worthy of the day. Modern heart pendants and fabulous gold necklaces are sure to make her heart skip a beat. She might even have a wish list waiting for you. If you're looking to outdo Cupid, our Antwerp Diamond Supplier has brought in the best Antwerp has to offer. The selection and the prices are oh so sweet. Mitchell's Jewelry in the heart of Norman at 2201 West Main Street.
Confidence comes from knowing you're getting a great deal. That's why we're offering Confidence Ford employee pricing for everyone. The same exclusive prices our team enjoys, with fantastic savings on new 2023 and 2024 models in stock. Now is the perfect time to drive home in a brand new Ford. Visit us online or come see us in person, conveniently located at 825 North Interstate Drive. Confidence Ford of Norman, a Cavender Auto family dealership, where confidence is Cavender.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family, but in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Looking for a better way to bank? Join OU Federal Credit Union and experience the difference. If you are tired of hidden fees and impersonal service at your big bank, well, you deserve better, and that's what you'll find at OU Federal Credit Union. They offer competitive rates on loans and savings accounts. Plus, they're a local member-owned institution. Join OU Federal Credit Union today and discover the benefits of being a part of a community that cares. Visit OUFCU.com or stop by the branches today. Member savings insured up to $250,000 by NCUA.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Mike Steely here for Cavens Group. Has it ever happened to you? You get home from the weekend, you arrive back at work on Monday, and your office is full of water. Not good. Now we're in that time of the year where pipes or sprinkler lines will freeze, and this can lead to a ton of damage to your home or business. Plus, if it's not cleaned up properly, that can lead to even more costly repairs in the future. Call Cavens Group today at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com.
You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is hour number 2. I got to tell you about some of the discussions happening in here. It's getting a little dirty in here. I'll tell you about it. It's not that kind of dirty, you tawdry people. But Hightower Clinical presents hour number 2 here on the Ref. And we always appreciate them. Thank you very much to Hightower Clinical. Clinical trial opportunities right here in the great state of Oklahoma, in the Oklahoma City metro area. They've got many different locations. And no cost or insurance needed to take part. Your meds provided for free. Patients are also compensated for their time in a lot of these trials. If you want more information on what they do, where they do it, how they do it, hightowerclinical.com. Or you can call or text them and get the information as well at 405-831-5905. That is 405-831-5905. Thanks to the Chick-fil-A at 12th and Alameda. They dropped off some goodies this morning, and tomorrow only you can get your heart-shaped trays for your Valentine. 10-count minis, 6-count cookie or brownie as well, 10-count chicken strips, 30 counts of chicken nuggets, and again tomorrow all in the heart-shaped tray. As opposed to Nirvana's heart-shaped box, you get this one in a heart-shaped tray. What a great song that was, by the way. So morning orders only. Get your heart-shaped biscuit as well. 12th and Alameda Chick-fil-A. You can call them at 405-310-3189. There you go. All right. There was discussion about, well, maybe OU's compliance department. Grayson came in here and basically said that he wanted to cheat and just start cheating. He was like, Jiminy Christmas. I mean, you just need to. He was wanting to hire every coach that the NCAA despises. That was Grayson coming in here. Will Wade, Chris Beard, although he's doing well at Ole Miss. But remember that was always, one of the problems is compliance. They're too damn compliant. In the compliance department, as Uncle said when he called in earlier this year, his advice to the compliance department was,
don't comply.
Stop complying. It reminds me of when, after Barry, by God, Switzer was forced to resign, and then Gary Gibbs was out, and then when the Sooners went in that deep, dark valley with Howard Schnellenberger and John Blake, the dude who called in and said, We need to get more of them thugs back in Norman. Them thugs, not those thugs. The grammar was just horrible. But that was a familiar refrain by a few people way back then.
You consider yourself a thug?
I do not.
Really?
Consider myself a fine gentleman and a social critic.
And
a chicken pot pie connoisseur.
So you wouldn't call cooking up a Marie Callender's chicken pot pie on a Wednesday evening thugging?
What does that mean?
Engaging in thug activities.
Probably not, no. I don't think I've engaged in any thug activities.
Really?
No. I've been a buffoon from time to time, but I've never been a thug. So at least I wouldn't text the play-by-play guy during the game. You morons. Jeez. By the way, don't ever say anything positive again, or I'm out.
I think I respect Toby a lot because the individual that texted him, he referred to that individual as a friend of his. Generally, my friends are not texting me saying, I'm listening to your radio show right now, and you better stop talking positively or you're going to lose all your credibility.
Like I said, just the audacity to text a play-by-play guy while he's on the air doing play-by-play is ridiculous. Absolute. Nobody will tell you, but guess what? If you're doing that, it's like that Hall & Oates song, you're out of touch. You don't know that you have an issue, but I'm here to tell you right now that you do. Seek counseling now, because it's either a complete lack of self-awareness, need for attention, extreme trolling, or you're just a moron. Those are the four choices. That's it. There's nothing else. Like I said, I told Toby, I texted him, like, really? Somebody did that? And I said, if that would have happened to John, I complimented Toby for, said, you're a super nice guy. I don't blame you for coming back at whoever the guy was. But if that had happened to John Brooks, once the plane landed back in Norman, he would have found that person and murdered them. And it would have been justifiable homicide. The judge would have thought, wait a minute now. This guy texted you during the game while you were doing the broadcast? Actually calling the game. I find the defendant guilty. You, sir, are sentenced to oblivion. And no more texts ever. Okay, sorry. All right.
To this text from Eric in Dallas.
Okay.
I mean, it's a fair question. Hey, if OU fires Porter and hires Kellen Sampson, do you think he can convince Fears to come back? Look, Jeremiah Fears is not coming back, to be clear. Jeremiah Fears is going to be a very rich man in the NBA next year. But the broader takeaway that kind of ties into that question for me, Steely, is what is there to get excited about with OU basketball next season? Because you're looking at what will likely be another roster overhaul where you're turning over at least half, if not 2/3 of your scholarship players.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have any studs coming back. Jalen Moore is out the door. Jeremiah Fears is out the door. I really like Dayton Forsythe. Man, he's provided a jolt of electricity. He's going to be around. He, you would assume, would take another step up in terms of responsibility and likely inherit a starting role in that backcourt. But what, save for Dayton Forsythe, is there to get excited about with OU basketball as it stands right now today looking ahead to 2025-26?
Sam Godwin got a younger brother coming in or anything?
Hopefully he's a little bit thicker in the britches.
Sam Godwin plays hard, don't you, dog?
He does. He does. I'll give him that.
He does. Yes, he does.
He plays with effort. He's just not great.
That's a very depressing text. Yeah, Jeremiah Fears, as they told Blutarski at Animal House, the chances of Fears coming back were like Blutarski's GPA, 0.0. Unless there's some rich donor out there that wants to give him like $3 million to come back next year.
Even then, he's making far more than that as a first-round NBA draft pick.
I'm seeing what makes him a lottery pick. Because he's 18 years old. He's got great size for a guard. He's extremely athletic. He's going to get better. He's very raw right now. But I believe he's got a chance to be a really good player in the NBA. Probably won't be next year. But a few years down the road, Jeremiah Fears could be a guy that's a really solid player in the NBA.
Ryan Bixby says, Godwin has the hands of an OU tight end.
All right, you want to hear from Teddy on the quarterback room?
Oh, do I?
Yes.
By the way, Jesse G said, when I think Thug Life, I think Mike Steely.
Should I turn my head sideways and pose? What do you think?
That was an outstanding visual if you're watching on YouTube right now.
Not. Here is from the Oklahoma Breakdown. We always give, again, what we call accreditation. We credit where we get the sound from. We run
attribution.
Attribution, yeah, accreditation. That is like college, right? This is attribution because some of the yahoos out there just, that steal information or run stuff. They're not professional. They don't know what they're doing. They don't give that. So, all the podcast stuff that we run, whether it's Insider, Scoop, or Oklahoma Breakdown, those are my main three. We always give the attribution. So this was Teddy on with Gabe, talking about the Sooner quarterback room for next season.
You take this for what it's worth, but I was talking to the head coach, and he said that room, that position group, is totally different. It is in a totally different place, which we all know, but I think it's even more than just bringing in Mateer. Like you mentioned, Mike Hawkins, Mike Hawkins starts at 75% of the teams in the country, maybe, give or take, maybe more than that. And you mentioned all the good stuff about Cole Gonzalez. That's before you even start to talk about Mateer. And I think the way Arbuckle approaches the quarterback position and how he coaches it, how he develops it for his offense, I feel it may be the single biggest jump at any position group on the team by like a massive margin. It's not just personnel. It's, having the offensive coordinator that runs that offense in there coaching the quarterbacks. That is critical.
Old Sunshine Pumping Ted trying to get me to drink the Kool-Aid again. I ain't buying it. Well,
I would say this. Take everything with a grain of salt, and I'm sure Ted, he's not BSing. He heard that. You know what? I think that quarterback room has a lot of potential. I'm not sure about the other guys beyond Mateer and Hawkins. Once Jaden O'Neal arrives, that'll probably change up. But they can't help but be better on offense. I mean, the offense, 2/3 of the season was a catastrophe, and the other third of the season they were barely above average. So they've got to get better. But what do you think about what he's saying? You hearing the same things? I take it.
Yes, and I think like many folks out there listening that are a little bit scarred from 6 and 7 in 2024, I'm hesitant to believe it until I see it, but I know the talent that makes up that room right now. You saw it at Washington State with John Mateer, and you can say, well, it's Washington State. Be that as it may, that's still high-level college football. John Mateer at a Pac-2 school, and I don't know where you consider the Pac-2 to be on the CFB totem pole, but it's like the twilight zone at this point between Power 4 and Group of 5. He had 44 total touchdowns last year, led the FBS. We know he can play. As Teddy mentioned, I'm glad he mentioned it, Michael Hawkins is good enough to start at the vast majority of institutions in college football, and he's your second-string guy. Cole Gonzalez is somebody with 3 years of FCS starting experience at Western Carolina. And so I don't think you're going to get into a position where you feel like you're up a creek at quarterback in 2025. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that John Mateer winds up a complete bust. Is not what he was billed to be, cannot live up to expectations. I think the version of Michael Hawkins that you're going to get in 2025, that you're going to have on that roster, that's grown and learned from the mistakes that he had to learn the hard way, and had to make the hard way as a true freshman in 2024, I think he'll be able to keep the wheels on the bus, man. But as far as the quarterbacks in general are concerned, I think what's going to help those guys substantially this season is that, barring the type of catastrophic injury plague that you saw last fall for Oklahoma, you're going to have a stronger offensive line, you're going to have a much stronger group of receivers, and what intrigues me the most about the offense as a whole is that you have a backfield that is very, very crowded with talent and guys that you would all consider to be on equal footing. Like, who leads the Sooners in carries in 2025? It could just as easily be Javonte Barnes, Xavier Robinson, Gavin Sawchuk, or Taylor Tatum.
Wait till it gets into the DeMarco shuffle where we have no idea who's playing. One guy gets hot, he's out of there. One guy gets hot again, he's out of there. You know, somebody called it the DeMarco shuffle, buddy of mine. So we'll see. We will see. I will say this, again, Mateer, I think, is going to be a good player. He did put up, as you said, led the FBS, 44 total touchdowns, leading rusher for Washington State, 15 rushing touchdowns. But he is going from, let's see, bad Mike Steely analogy. All right, PGA Tour. Going from the schedule that he faced is like going to a birdie fest like the Quad Cities Open and then going to play U.S. Open Oakmont. It's going to be more challenging. Now, is he going to be up to the task? I think he will be better than what they had last year. Hawkins still has a lot of potential, but the bar wasn't set very high. Jackson Arnold got shell-shocked early in the season, maybe even in the preseason, because we started hearing, hey, I'm hearing Michael Hawkins is out playing Jackson in the practices, and that Brent's throwing every look possible at Jackson Arnold to get him ready, and he's not really responding in a great way yet. But I don't know. I would say, as Jody said, here we go with how these players are the best-looking players anyone has ever seen at OU. Not falling for it this year until I see it on the field against another team. Matt on YouTube says, could the quarterback room really go anywhere but up from last year? And Les Wilson says, in regards to our question today, do you think it was a mistake for the Sooners to make the move to the SEC? Yes or no? What do you think? Les says, moving into the SEC was the only move. We just need to suck it up and get back to winning and getting back on top. So, yeah, it's not always going to be this bad. Now, clearly, I mean, that's obvious. But it's also not going to be the old Big 12 either, where you win just as many conference championships as the rest of the league combined. Right? And Sooner fans were used to that. Yep. And, just schedule, injuries, Texas figuring things out. There so many things that have piled up that Sooner fans have not been used to that have this fan base in a sour mood right now, and I get it. I totally get it. All right.
405 listener says, all these grains of salt are giving me high blood pressure.
Yeah, that can be the reason. All right, let's break right here, 405-651-3439. If you haven't voted in our YouTube poll today, was it a mistake for the Sooners to go to the SEC? Yes or no? Very simple. We're checking you guys out in the YouTube chat as well. Just go to YouTube, type in the search mode KREF Sports, KREF Sports, and that will get you there. And we're also looking for your stuff, as usual, on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. By the way, Skip Johnson on the T-Row in the Morning show this morning talked about Michael Jackson singing Amarillo by Morning. Is that real? We'll talk about it when we get back here on the Ref.
Bleed Crimson? Love great Sooner talk? Join the Ref Army by downloading our free app. Toby and TJ, Plank and Josh, Steelman and Thune, and Teddy and Tyler. We have the Sooner experts. The Ref is home to Sooner fans worldwide.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Are you in need of purchasing your own health insurance? Are you turning 65 and confused about Medicare? Are you an employer looking at offering benefits to your staff? Call the agents at Allison Insurance. They'll sort through the confusion. They're not captive to just one company, and they'll get the best option for you. Don't get frustrated. Call Allison Insurance at 800-580-5587 or 745-2968. Allison Insurance. They are the experts.
Don't miss out on OKC's hottest entertainment at the Showplace Theater with acts like Gladys Knight, February 28th. 38 Special, March 7th. Bonnie Raitt, March 15th. And Chicago, March 28th. Riverwind is OKC's favorite casino experience.
OU softball, baseball, and gymnastics offer great opportunities for you to get out for some exciting action and support your Sooners. Going to an OU event or game? Balfour of Norman on Campus Corner invites you to stop by and get some new OU gear. Whether it's a softball jersey with your favorite player or just a new lucky shirt or hat to wear to the game, Balfour has everything you need to be in style and showing your colors. Cheer for the Sooners in the best and newest styles in Sooner sportswear. Locally owned for more than 45 years, Balfour continues to be Sooner fans' favorite OU store and has everything you need. Balfour has the latest styles and fashion trends for men, women, and children. You can find something for every Sooner fan. When it comes to hats, they have you covered with more than 100 styles to choose from. Even OU socks, so you're literally covered from head to toe. Graduation is right around the corner. They have OU diploma frames in stock. Or you can always get a gift card so they can choose the perfect gift for themselves. Come see us on the corner or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
March is almost here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68 team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68 team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings off of 19th Street and more from noon to 7. The Ref's 68 team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
Hi Norman, it's DJ Newsom with Alliance Bank, your community-driven, friendly neighborhood bank. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, lead a nonprofit organization, or just someone seeking a better banking experience, we've got you covered. From business to personal banking, we tailor our services to suit everyone's needs. We believe in making banking easy and enjoyable. Visit our Norman location or call us today at 405-286-5750. Alliance Bank, banking tailored to your needs. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money, so say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, we will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sooners last night lose in Columbia, 82-58. Not a fun basketball game. It looked like it wasn't a lot of fun for Thunder fans for about 38 minutes last night. But the last quarter, the end of the third quarter, and the last quarter were awesome at the Paycom Palace last night. 24-0 run, and Oklahoma City comes back to beat the Heat 115-101. They play at Minnesota tomorrow night, 7:30 on TNT. And then the All-Star break coming up this weekend out in San Francisco with Shea, J-Dub, and Cason Wallace playing in the Rising Stars. By the way, Sooner baseball tomorrow taking on Lehigh. First pitch at Mitchell Park at 4 p.m.
Lehigh, you say?
That's right, yes.
You know of any prominent Lehigh alumni? I can think of
C.J.
one.
McCollum?
C.J. McCollum.
Yeah, C.J. McCollum.
That's the only one I know of.
Yeah, that's all. They used to be the Engineers. Now what? There's some pansy name now. What is it?
Bird.
The Mountain Hawks. I mean, what the? Did we cancel?
Engineers is way cooler.
Engineers is way cooler, right? The Mountain Hawks. That's so wimpy. What is the worst nickname change? Before we get to this classic Skip Johnson. All quiet on the Western Front. We're all thinking here. Syracuse went from the Orange Men to the...
just the Orange?
The Orange. St. John's was the Red Men. They went to the Red Flashes. I understand all that.
Long Beach State?
They were the 49ers, right?
And now they're the Beach.
I like the Beach better.
I do not like the Beach.
Why
do
not?
you like the Beach?
I don't know. It's just kind of cool.
It doesn't make sense.
It does. Well, there's a beach out in Long Beach, right? So they're there. They're the Beach.
The baseball team's the Dirtbags.
That's right. Yeah, they had. Did they win the Natty that one year, or did they go to the final? But the worst one. North Dakota going from the Fighting Sioux to what? What is
the Fighting Hawks? Yeah, that one was controversial because apparently, the actual Sioux tribe was
saying it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
for us.
yeah, they didn't have any issue with it. In fact, they liked it, and then they changed it anyway to the Fighting Hawks. So,
what the heck is the Cardinal at Stanford? That's the color. That's the jersey color, right?
Yes, Cardinal Red.
Yeah.
A 580 listener says, the Dallas Cowboys have recently become the Dallas overpaid pansies.
Yes. Jerry's doing a great job as a general mangler there. There's no doubt.
General mangler.
Dak Prescott talking about how close they are. He's more delusional than the dude who's texting Toby during the basketball game. Hey, you think it'd be a good idea? T-Row's on the air right now. But I'm pissed off. I got his phone number somehow, some way. I can't remember how. Myrtle, you think I should text him right now and say this is a bunch of BS? I ain't listening. Quit talking positive about OU or I'm out. You think it's a good idea? All right, I'm going to text him right now. Let's see what happens. Jeez.
I got the answer.
You got the answer? What is the answer?
Worst nickname change.
The
Hofstra Flying Dutchman.
Yes!
Changed
The Pride now, right?
That is the Flying Dutchman. Wasn't Rick Smits from Hofstra?
I don't know.
No, he was from Marist.
We just talked about Hofstra the other day. I remember Marcus Colston played at Hofstra.
Why would you do that? Why did they cancel Flying Dutchman? What did they do? Did they do something really bad? Did they anger somebody? I mean, that's a cool name. It's because we're living in a pansy society. Everybody get their little feelings hurt over everything. Oh, my gosh. I mean, jeez. The Flying Dutchman was classic. Okay, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. All right, this was Skip on the T-Row in the Morning Show this morning. And again, the Sooners scheduled to play Lehigh tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Sunday, it's supposed to get really cold. I know they've been thinking about maybe a doubleheader with Lehigh on Saturday, but Skip was asked by Toby about, the new schedule and everything, and this is Skip. It's great because he's talking about, what it's going to be like for these new players going to these tough SEC road environments, but he morphs into a great story as well as only Skip Johnson can. Here's the clip.
When we walk into to a place that's going to have 10 or 12,000 people, you think those freshmen you think they've felt that before? I mean, they haven't felt it, and so you expect them to go out and pitch and play like their hair's on fire, and you got to practice those things. I mean, you got to have a mental performance coach. You have got to practice those things. If you're not going to practice them, it's no different than Catalano last week, Toby. Great story. He's throwing, and He's good. And all of a sudden, he's 2-0 on a hitter, and he slide steps out of the windup like he's trying to trick him. So I walk out there. I don't walk. I waddle out there, and I'm like, Cal. I say, Cat, what are you doing? He goes, what do you mean? I said, what are you doing? Have you practiced that in the bullpen yet? No, sir. I said, so you think Michael Jackson's going to walk up in a concert and all of a sudden start singing Amarillo by Morning, playing a country song, just out of the blue? I mean, I like the idea of you trying to adapt and overcome, but you have to practice before you do it. I mean, that's the whole point of it, is you have to practice it before you do it. And these young men haven't been in these environments.
There you go. Yes, that right there is a Skip Johnson classic. What would be more entertaining, to see Michael Jackson attempt Amarillo by Morning or George Strait try Billie Jean?
Oh, easily George Strait doing Billie Jean. Because MJ could pull off Amarillo by Morning. Because MJ is one of the most talented individuals of all time.
With a couple yeehaws mixed
like,
in.
do country artists, do they have that kind of range?
I bet George by God Strait could do a pretty good acoustic Billie Jean version. Probably. All right, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Yes, somebody said, you're right, Jeremy, thank you. Man, the old man's recall just isn't quite what it used to be because, yes, Speedy Claxton.
Speedy Claxton, that's a good pull.
And Speedy Claxton played momentarily with the Thunder, but he was.
Did he really?
From Hofstra, yeah. He had a brief stint in Oklahoma City.
Dang.
No, was it the Hornets or the Thunder? It may have been the Hornets. It was the Hornets.
Speedy Claxton, that's a deep cut.
It is.
Chris from Knoxville said, don't Urban Dictionary Flying Dutchman.
No good. Is that why they changed it? Because of the stupid Urban Dictionary? Jeez. Go ahead and Urban Dictionary.
No, I'm not going to. Somebody in the 580 says, sounds like a job for AI. That being George Strait covering Billie Jean.
Go into Grok on your phone, see if you can get that done.
No, I don't really want to.
Come on.
No, I don't use AI.
Oh, yeah, we can't play any copyrighted music. We're plain vanilla here now. Can't go into the ice cream shop and order anything special. Sir, all we have is plain vanilla. What about, can I get some hot fudge or something, Sir, all we serve is plain vanilla. It's just like the old John Belushi, cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. I don't want a cheeseburger, cheeseburger. That's what you get. One thing. All right. What else?
Big Rich in OKC says, LOL, they played the Speedy Gonzalez theme when he came in the game.
There you go, Big Rich. Good recall.
Yeah. Speedy Claxton. I didn't realize he was in the league recently enough to have played for the Thunder.
Yeah,
but it was the Hornets.
I'm telling
you, the Thunder.
Yeah, it was, and the old man's recall isn't quite what it used to be. I've gone from first ballot Hall of Famer memory recall to like AAA All-Star level, maybe.
Gunny of Stutzman Army says, I like vanilla.
I like vanilla too, but you need a little change up and variety every now and then.
Steve from Tuttle says, Steely, I was watching on YouTube. Didn't you used to have a goatee?
I did for a while, but now it all comes in gray. So, and like I said, I have
just
two
embrace
options
it.
there.
Just embrace it.
Two options: gray, looking like Kenny frickin' Rogers or something, which I don't want to do, or Ryan Day. There's no in between. And I don't want to look like Kenny Rogers, and I don't want to look at need some good music, but I don't want the white gray beard. I don't want it. And then the other option is to color it, and then you're Ryan Day. So neither option works. But yes, Steve, you're correct. 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. As of now, do you regret OU joining the SEC? The poll, we're headed down the home stretch. As of now, 74% say no, 25% say yes. 74 no, 25 yes, 1% are floating around in the ether again.
I would humbly suggest that 25% of people are overly reactionary because we're 7 months into the OU SEC experience. There's no reason to regret it yet. Yeah, the football season didn't go terribly well. The basketball season hasn't gone terribly well. There might be a coaching change in the works with men's hoops. But it's year one. Is it fair? Like, will it be fair 5 years from now if you're looking back and saying, that might not have been the best decision by OU? Sure, like, if you want to make that judgment then great. But it's way too early to be second-guessing everything based on one season of football and 2/3 of a season of basketball.
5-star Gunny of Stutzman Army says strawberry shake for the change-up. The strawberry shake, in my opinion, is the best shake.
Really?
Yes. I mean, every shake's a good shake, but the strawberry shake, every now and then Whataburger throws out like a banana pudding shake or something, and I think Chick-fil-A does too, and they're both really good. But if you're going for the standard shake, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, I will go strawberry. But the other two are good options. What about you?
If I just have those three options, I'll probably go chocolate.
Jeez, what is wrong with these kids? Strawberry is clearly the number one choice, and he goes chocolate on me. Holy cow. And don't Urban Dictionary the chocolate holy cow, by the way. That probably is not good.
You know what's really good? The chocolate banana shake. If you can get that. I get it at Freddy's.
Really?
On the rare occasion that I go to
sounds
Freddy's.
Pretty good.
Usually when I'm in Kansas, because there's very little else to eat in Kansas.
That's all they have, Freddy's, pretty much?
I mean, if you're over in the Kansas City area, you might get a Culver's. You might run into a Culver's. I guess they have Hawaiian Bros up there. Get a few, but like if you're out in central Kansas, for instance, like if I'm driving home to Nebraska, straight up through the heart of Kansas, up Highway 81 or whatever that is, your options are basically Freddy's, or if you stop far south enough, you can get a Brahms.
Brahms Superior, right?
Once you get north of McPherson, or no, Salina. Once you get north of Salina, Freddy's.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, they've got the skinny fries, right? What do they call them? The shoestring?
Yeah, the shoestring fries,
yeah.
Which I really like.
Every now and then it's a good change of pace.
Anything but crinkle fries.
I don't mind
crinkle fries are inferior.
Now you're insulting Brahms.
I am not.
Don't you do it.
I am not.
Don't.
Brahms has fantastic ice cream. Brahms has fantastic burgers.
He's backpedaling
Brahms has
like
fantastic
a
chili.
right now.
I don't like Brahms fries. Sue me for it.
Okay. Man. You probably thought corporate was coming to get you there. That was a quick backpedal right there. Holy cow, like at the combine, backpedaling quickly. They're good for a change-up, I think. I don't know if I've met a fry. It's kind of like Will Rogers. I've never met a fry I didn't like. Some are better than others, but you need a lot of different pitches in your rotation every now and then. Okay, we got a break. 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Are you still craving the Indian taco? Yes. Maybe we can go get an Indian taco this weekend. I need to get to Ray's barbecue. I'm having a Ray's craving as well. I want to talk to Daryl and go to Ray's.
You can Urban Dictionary Indian taco while we're in the break, too.
No. See, that's the problem. Everything's on the Urban Dictionary. You can't say you see, this is why the end is nigh. Right there. That's it. We'll be right back. Keep it here on the Ref.
Do you eat, sleep, and breathe Sooner football? We do too. This is the Ref, home of Sooner fans.
What's up, Ref Army? It's Dusty Dvorak, and I'm back. I'm excited to be back with the Ref and cannot wait to help bring the home of Sooner fans the best Sooner coverage. Catch me every Tuesday and Wednesday during the 10 a.m. hour of The Plank Show as I cut it up with Plank and Josh about everything in the world of Sooner and college football. That's every Tuesday and Wednesday on The Plank Show, and there's only one place to hear it. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Download the KRF app today to listen from anywhere.
Looking for the ultimate way to bring fun to your home this season? Galaxy Home Recreation has you covered. From top-of-the-line pool tables, hot tubs with the best hydrotherapy in the business, to exciting home theater seating. Visit our showroom today and let our experts create the perfect setup for family fun or entertaining friends. Located outside of the Sooner Mall in Norman on the north side of the building. Mention this radio ad and receive your exclusive offer. Galaxy Home Recreation, family owned and operated in Oklahoma since 1975. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion, desire a great postgame, or after-work dining experience, the Ranch Steakhouse is the winning choice. At Ranch Steakhouse, we're grilling up the best USDA prime steaks in Oklahoma. Juicy, flavorful, and cooked to perfection. Pair that with an unbeatable atmosphere, a killer drink selection, and a wine list of over 400 personally curated bottles. Whether you're toasting the game or winding down after a big day, Ranch Steakhouse is where champions eat.
Hi, I'm Courtney Fisher, Development Manager at Meals on Wheels of Norman. We couldn't do what we do without the generous support of Prosperity Bank through our Adopt a Route program. Prosperity Bank believes in taking care of customers, businesses, and communities by providing financial solutions to simplify everyday financial needs. Thank you to Prosperity Bank for your commitment to making sure no senior goes hungry in the Norman community.
Hi everybody, Toby Rowland here. And are you and your family looking for a place to golf in 2025? The Trails Golf Club in Norman is perfect for you. The Trails give you the opportunity for you and your family to spend quality time together by playing golf, enjoying the pool in the summertime, along with many family fun-filled activities around holidays. Plus, one of the best restaurants in town. Now is the perfect time to join the Trails. Contact Zane Alexander today at 405-360-3790 or visit trailsgolf.com.
What are you waiting for? If you're anything like me, that question keeps you up at night. So don't wait for someone else's green light. Do the things you love right now at More Norman Tech. We'll get you out of the classroom and into the real world with hands-on experience in whatever feeds your fire. So get after it. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. More Norman Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
Good lighting is an absolute necessity these days, but not all lights are created equal. Did you know that you can reduce the energy consumption of a light fixture by up to 85% by converting to LED? Sounds like a great opportunity, but finding the right LED product isn't always easy. At Wade Electric, they have the knowledge and experience to provide an LED conversion that will save you money and stand the test of time. Whether in your home or office, get the right money-saving LED product the first time and call Wade Electric today at 405-329-1940 to receive a free estimate.
We all play a role in keeping our communities safe. Oklahoma is no stranger to attacks. It's now easier than ever. If you see something, say something. The free and anonymous Protect OK app allows instant reporting of suspicious activity, both in schools and the community. You can help keep your family and friends safe. Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Download the Protect OK app today in the Apple App or Google Play stores. Funded by the Oklahoma Office of Homeland Security.
We're back and we are on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Radio Network. Good to have you with us. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. YouTube chat is up and running, and as KRF Sports officially stated, Parker Thune's words regarding Brahms crinkle-cut fries do not represent the views of the Ref or other employees at the radio station. I think that was set up by Brian and Casey, too.
Is that statement that controversial?
It's very controversial.
I don't like crinkle fries. Okay?
Okay. That's fine.
I'll eat just about anything about it. But here's the thing about going to Brahms and pretty much any place that serves crinkle fries. They give you alternatives. You don't have to get fries on the side. So I just choose another side.
So you're saying Brahms is too rigid, too, with their menu.
You're really getting tawdry here.
Now, I will say this. Also, you get some of those cookies in the little store and everything. They're pretty good. It's always good. That, ladies and Brahms, is a national institution based right here in the great state of Oklahoma.
By the way, 588 said, do not Urban Dictionary strawberry shake.
Oh, gosh. You know, can Elon shut everything down? Can he shut down the Urban Dictionary, please? How about the kid yesterday, by the way?
What kid?
Elon's kid in the Oval Office.
Oh, boy, here goes Steely talking politics.
Well, he basically told the president to shut up. You're not the president unless I get fooled by AI or something, and I'm easily fooled.
I mean, hey, that's another very real concern these days is you see any video, you have to be like, is this real?
Yeah, I know. You know, some of that is just plain wrong, too. You know, they have some coach standing up there like it's a press conference, and he's talking about sexual things or whatever. It's like, it's just wrong. It's another reason why we are going straight to Hades in a handbasket right now, like on the down part of the roller coaster. This is not how it should be. AI is great. Yeah, it's going to take your job soon. You'll be history. And then the robot AI army will take over the world, and then you'll be enslaved by the robot army, doing manual labor, and you'll be thinking at that time, I should have listened to what Steely was saying.
Have you seen the humanoid robots? Have you seen the videos of those on social media?
Yeah,
robots that actually look and walk and move like humans?
It's way too creepy. You can't be living in a science fiction movie in the real world, all right? It's just too creepy for me. Johnny Boy, Steely ever considered stand-up comedy? I would get my ass kicked. No.
By whom?
Well, the audience. I'm not that funny. Nate Bargatze, people like that. I mean, I just made stupid observations. Believe me, it's not anywhere near the level of that. Those guys are awesome. Who's your favorite stand-up? Do you have a favorite stand-up comedian? Like of all time, maybe a current one?
No, I don't know that I have a singular favorite.
I would have to go. My two right now are, well, they may be the two most popular. Nate Bargatze. I just like his mannerisms and delivery, too. And Bill Burr.
Bill Burr's pretty solid.
He calls out the idiots, too, which I like a lot.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, these stupid effing people trying to tell the president, what to do. Who the hell are you? You know, I mean, it's, you're doing the fries at a restaurant. You're trying to tell them how to do politics. You know, it's pretty.
You know who should do stand-up comedy? Skip Johnson.
Skip Johnson would be really good. Here's a comedy. OU's men's sports. LOL. Back in the day, who was another good one? I love Mitch Hedberg. There was a guy named Dennis Wolfberg who had these crazy eyes, and visually he was funny as well. Mitch Hedberg, Dennis Wolfberg. Of course, maybe the greatest of all time, George Carlin. That guy was awesome. Yes, two-star Jay just said George Carlin, too. All right, 405-651-3439. This is some of the stuff you talk about when men's basketball is struggling.
And boy, are they struggling.
Yes, they are.
People would rather hear me talk about what my favorite style of fry is than OU hoops. That's how bad things are.
Johnny Boy says Richard Pryor and Red Fox. Man, Red Fox, Fred Sanford, but if you ever saw his comedy, he was pretty raunchy, man. And so was Richard Pryor. But Richard Pryor was hilarious. I was watching the documentary on Prime on John Belushi. Belushi was a genius. but they were showing the old skit on the original SNL, Samurai Hotel, with Belushi and Richard Pryor. Really good. Classic stuff from back in the day. Stephen Wright was pretty good, yes, Doug, in OU Cub. He was deadpan delivery, but he was excellent.
You know what I fear, Steely? And I kind of touched on this yesterday. I kind of fear that there will be a lot of OU athletics fans and supporters that come to the point of indifference. I think there are plenty of people that are already there. They're just like, I don't really care about anything OU until they start winning again. That's problematic to me.
Well,
because you know what that is? That's fair weather fandom.
Well, not only that, in the NIL era, you need people participating. And this, again, is why for OU there's been some bad luck and horrible timing involved. And there's been some bad decisions also. There have been. But, some of these still have a chance to work out. I still think Brent has a chance to turn this around. I really do. I would say at this point, maybe it's 50-50. I think they, I just can't imagine them being that bad on offense again. And unless they have a lot of defensive injuries, I think they'll be solid on defense. But apathy is not what you need. And you're also in a situation right now where things are more expensive. People are, the cost of living is, if you're even in the middle class, it can be somewhat challenging. Then you've got people asking you to donate to their charity. And, do you want to feed hungry kids or get a wide receiver? Which one, honey? And sometimes that's a moral dilemma too, right? Let's get the wide receiver. Does he run a 4.5? He sure does. Well, screw the kids. Wide receiver, And because I think most people, even though we're in a society now where on social media it looks like we're so divided, and we are, but most people, when you meet them in person, most of them in real life are pretty good-natured, are pretty, they care about their family. If you meet them in person and you're not talking to John Hates OU 643 versus, John Jones, the real guy, guess what? He's probably pretty normal and probably a pretty nice dude. But those are some of the decisions now, because I had someone tell me, we were giving this to, a charity that we really like, but then we thought, well, can we cut that one and help out the OU NIL fund? So they're tough decisions being made. Like I said, this isn't easy. I think the Sooners, you look at what Oklahoma has done, right? I think they've been very creative. They've been forward-thinking. Some of the issues, I believe, I'm part idiot, so I don't know how true this is, but to me it would make sense that the numbers, when you have other schools who have an alumni base, maybe 2 or 3 times or more than that than OU, then it becomes a numbers game. How many multimillionaires and billionaires do you have in your alumni base? How enthusiastic are they about giving to sports? All that plays into it. Maybe we level the playing field, hopefully, with the decision in April. But I don't think it's not like Joe Castiglione and these people aren't giving it their best every single day. They are. But there's some inherent issues.
Thanks for the brilliant suggestion, by the way. I think I'm going to use that as my burnerverse handle. John Hates OU 643.
Yeah.
If you see scathing tweets coming from that account, that's my burner.
Yeah. Okay.
588 says, there has to be fair weather in order to have fair weather fandom.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand the frustration right now because Sooner fans have always kind of been, in the Big 8 through the Big 12, they were always kind of the king of the mountain, right? I mean, you had Nebraska had their run. Texas has had some, but mostly it's been OU.
A 405 listener says, I pay $5,000 a year for 4 season football tickets. I'm tapped out. They get almost all my entertainment dollars already. What more do they want for watching bad football?
Yeah, it's, like I said, there are choices being made. But the problem is, if you boycott and protest and don't give, then the hole gets deeper, right? Or there's a good chance that hole gets deeper for OU. What are you laughing at? Is that in the frickin' Urban Dictionary or something?
Did I laugh?
I thought I saw a grin. What I would describe as a sheepish grin.
A sheepish grin.
Kind of like, ooh, you're on the edge there. Old man, watch out. That kind of thing. But don't you agree with that? I mean, that's a real issue. And like I said, believe me, they're having meetings. They're working their butt off to fix this. But here's one thing you can't do. You cannot make donors donate. I mean, it's not like you can go.
You don't think Joe C has the mafia connections to make that happen?
I don't. I think he's got a lot of connections, and I think that you're
going to make
donors,
me an offer I can't refuse.
But it's not. I mean, believe me, they're asking for the money, and they're trying to get the money. It's kind of like with the baseball facility, the LNC. It's frustrating right now, and Sooner fans, I totally get it. It's a depression. Somewhat. All right, let's get a few more in.
Jake from Wisconsin asks, is it true that a court ruled that NIL doesn't fall under Title IX? If not, that could be good for football and basketball. Yes, that ruling did come down yesterday, I believe.
That is good. All right, before we get out of here, I want to thank our friends at Riverwind because we will be there tomorrow at Riverwind Casino. We set up shop right in front of Chips and Ales Pub Restaurant. Riverwind, tomorrow night, we have the 80K Cupid's Quest Friday night giveaways. Hopefully you play with your wild card, particularly on Mondays and Tuesdays. You can get some extra entries, 5 times the entries on your wild card Mondays and Tuesdays. But hopefully hear your name called and win your share of 80K in cash and bonus play tomorrow night at Riverwind. They've got other great promotions happening all month long. The 15K Cupid's Bouquet of Cash contest. Thunder Up and Double Down. You can win $700, up to $700 in chips. The Royal Hearts happening all month long. Win your share of $30K in chips in that promotion. And the $30K Love to Win hot seats. Win a share of $30,000 in that great promotion at Riverwind. And we'll see Justin, Reed, Christy, the whole crew out there tomorrow. And usually they give us a few tickets to give away to some of the shows at the Showplace Theater. Be listening, drop by, and you may get a pair of tickets tomorrow as well. I want to thank Hightower Clinical also. Appreciate you guys on YouTube. The winner, the Sooner fans are still happy that Oklahoma went to the SEC by a wide margin. We'll see you.